Paid inclusion can be useful for marketers with very large websites who have a lot of diversity of content and whose organic SEO efforts are less than optimal. However, if you're doing a really good job with organic SEO and you do paid inclusion, you'll often end up paying for a click you would have gotten for free. And what I mean by that is essentially, we'll talk more about it when I get to the paid inclusion slide. But paid inclusion is very much, it requires some fairly in-depth ROI analysis with respect to whether or not you should do that. Also, the price points for paid inclusion in relation to the price points for paid placement will help determine that as well. So I'll delve a little bit more into that shortly.
Just to get back to
Yep.
what you were asking, I've always read, maybe what I've read is wrong then, I was always under the assumption that 80% of the clicks come from organic and about 20% come from pay-per-click. I know that that's general, but I've read that in many places. Is that really not a rule of thumb I should be thinking about?
It varies by engine, and that number has been skewing every month more and more towards paid. Matter of fact, last month for commercial queries, Google started adding a third paid listing at the top. Right? So paid is taking over an ever-increasing percentage of real estate on the screen. And in Google, for example, it actually depends on how commercial the query is. So in some cases, you'll do a search on Google, and you'll see no links at the top, just down the side. In other cases, you'll do a search, and you'll see 3 links at the top and links continuing down the side. So Google's the only engine that actually dynamically decides how relevant are the paid results in comparison to the organic results or algorithmic results. And based on us figuring out the relative relevance, that's how we'll decide whether to put more links up at the top that are paid or less. So that 80% study has some flaws in it because it looks overall at all queries, right? So what's interesting is for marketers, they're primarily interested in queries with purchase intent and commercial queries, right? And for those, the numbers are much, much more skewed towards paid. So if clearly when somebody types in, cancer survival statistics as a search query, which a lot of people maybe do, there may be marketers trying to get the attention of those people, but those people, if you were to do that query, you'd probably concentrate on the algorithmic results. You would just, over time you might learn, well, I see there's universities coming up here, there's hospitals coming up here. This is what I'm going to click on. However, if you were looking for, a particular specialist, a doctor or a specialist to treat some kind of a disease, you might be a little more equally likely to look at the paid and look at the algorithmic results. So what happens is the more the search skews towards commercial, the greater percentage of clicks come through paid. So I guess you could sort of say that organic is sort of more important for sort of those research stages of searching when you're just looking for general information, and then as you move more towards commercial queries, paid becomes more important. Yep.
So this may be something you're going to cover, but if I have a PR person on staff, are there specific things I should be having them include in anything they're sending to newspapers, like specific URLs pertaining to that article that they're writing? Should that be in there?
Yeah, I do cover PR and search towards the end of the day. But in brief, yes, that both PR Newswire and PR Web, which is more of a startup, now allow you to embed hot links into your press releases, so you could actually understand the influence of those hot links from the perspective of SEO, and that might be very beneficial to you to do. And occasionally you'll get some press that will actually hot link your URL. Excuse me. For example, I was lucky enough to get quoted in the New York Times, I think it was about a week ago, and Saul Hansel, the reporter, not only quoted me, but he hot linked our company name, which I was totally psyched about, because not only do I get the PR, but we got hundreds of, or probably thousands of visitors to the site that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and we didn't have to pay anything for it. It was just that we got the link. The other term which we sort of covered somewhat is paid placement. Paid placement is what most of you think of as paid search, which is a paid placement model means you're paying either directly or indirectly for specific positions. In Yahoo search, it's a pure auction. It's a direct auction where the more you pay directly influences your position. In Google and MSN, it's a modified auction, meaning the price you pay influences your position, but it's not the only thing that influences position. In Google, they predict your click-through rate on an ad based on something they call a quality score, and based on that prediction, they multiply that predicted click-through rate against your bid, and they come up with an ad rank, and then that's how they'll rank the ads, based on the ad rank. So yes, the price you bid in that auction influences your position, but it's not the only thing that influences position. Your ad's performance on a click-through basis, and overall your brand or domain name's performance, and a variety of other factors influence what your position will be, including what your creative reads like, etc. The second tier engines like Find What, Canoodle, Enhance, Lycos, most of those are also just direct auctions, but some of them are hybrid auctions as well. So LookSmart and Ask Jeeves now use a hybrid auction as well, meaning it's not just the price you bid, but it's also how compelling your ad is, or how interested people are in relevant or compelling your ad is. The vast majority of the paid search marketing comes through these auctions. So if you think about I think this year it'll be about 5 billion or slightly over 5 billion spent on paid search. The vast majority of that comes through these auction models. So that's where we'll spend the majority of time tomorrow when we talk about paid search. But there are a lot of different venues that you can buy paid search in, including vertical portals specifically for niches, sort of shopping portals, etc. Shopping search is sort of one of those concepts of a vertical portal designed specifically for searching of a particular type. So you probably recognize and have used some of these sites in the past, either because you landed on them after doing a search in a primary portal, or you maybe went there directly to do a search for a product, or to do a search for, to research something.